Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and just late yesterday afternoon I made this pattern that I called it interlocking square, and this morning I made it where it kind of like a 3D effect where it actually looks like it goes over and under. And we're just going to make one. So I'm going to take and group this together, not really group it, just move it out of the way. I've already got my indexing lines in the center of the page. I'm going to make a rectangle with my ratio unlocked. I'm going to make this 1 inch by 6 inches. I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page, Control D and make a duplicate and rotate that duplicate 90 degrees. And so everything's the same as yesterday. We're going to just change it up a little bit. Control D and make a duplicate of this guy and make this 1.25 by 6.25. And what that did, it made it equal. Now we're going to take the virtual segment delete key and delete these lines. We're going to take the Smart Fill tool. We're going to fill that in. We're going to nudge it over. And I'm going to nudge this one the opposite direction. You do not want to have anything selected, or you don't want that other thing selected when you pick the transparency tool. So let's zoom in here. And we'll use the transparency tool. And we'll go from left to right. But you need to make sure you go past so you've got a straight line there. And you could always adjust that. And that looks pretty good. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side, but you want to make sure it's selected before you touch the transparency tool. Well, grab the transparency tool, make sure you go past it. And then you can adjust the slide bar. Now we're going to take these, well, we can delete these lines now. And I'm going to nudge these things over and nudge this over. And now I'm going to select it all and group it, Control G, and I'm going to grab that corner. And if you have Snap to Guidelines on, when you see that blue box, sometimes you almost have to start over because that other one's interfering. There should be a blue box. Let me make sure I've got Snap to Guidelines on, and I do. Maybe I'll try it from this side. Well, the blue box didn't appear this morning, but it's dead on. We'll check both areas. And then Control D and make a duplicate. Move the center of the rotation in your center of your page. And then we're going to rotate this guy 270 degrees. And then Control D, rotate it 180 degrees. We're just going backwards. And then Control D, and then you have it. Let's group this together. And now let's rotate it 45 degrees. And yesterday I used the parallel dimension tool. Today I'm just going to use a line, because you can measure with a line, because that line's going to be the, so if you go to node, we've got 12.021. We can just delete that line. We're going to make a rectangle or a square, hold down your control key, make this locked and type in 12.021, hit P, put it in the center of the page, select it all, and go right here to intersect and move that out of the way. And you don't have to move it back, but we're going to change our nudge factor to that 12.021, Control D, Control D, Control D, then select them all again and Control D and use the down arrow key. And in that short a time, and you can make it as big or small as you want, because it's not a line, it's a fill. Anyway, pretty cool design. I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you.